Chosen One. Across the ages, there have always been certain souls who walk under a unique divine shield, one that activates the very moment darkness dares to approach. When the tormentors of this world turned their gaze toward you, the universe did not hesitate. Swift justice was delivered, an unshakable message echoed across the unseen realms. The chosen are not to be touched. You exist within a hidden battlefield, a world beneath the surface where some survive by draining the energy of others. Look closely at your workplace, your neighborhood, even your closest relationship. Behind smiles and roles, silent hierarchies operate. There's the leader who rules through fear, the followers who conform to avoid becoming targets, an entire system structured around dominance and quiet submission. Newcomers are always the first to be tested, isolated, baited, humiliated publicly as part of an unspoken ritual. You've seen it too often to be coincidence. Someone walks in full of hope, only to slowly shrink into the shadows, their light dimmed, their essence nearly erased. But you felt it. In your gut, you knew this wasn't just human cruelty. It was a spiritual violation, a cosmic trespass. The universe itself rejects these parasitic structures where many are sacrificed so a few may reign. From the very beginning, they could tell something was different about you. Your silence wasn't weakness, it was surveillance. Your detachment wasn't fear, it was discernment. You played the part, stayed under the radar, did everything right. Yet still, they sensed the fire within you. And they were right to be uneasy, because you carry an authority that can't be earned or faked. It was given, a divine clearance. You are permitted to stand firm where others falter, to remain whole where others break. You don't just survive their system, you reveal its cracks. You were never meant to blend in. You were born to expose what hides in plain sight. And as always, the confrontation comes, sooner or later, as predictable as the sunrise. After devouring everyone else, those predatory eyes finally settle on you. That's when the pressure arrives, a demand, a task, an impossible standard, like being told that entire report has to be redone by morning. They announce your supposed mistake across the office, their voice echoing with that sharp, familiar tone, the same tone that's broken so many before you. Even though you followed every specification perfectly, the accusation hangs in the air and the whole room holds its breath, as if bracing for another ritual sacrifice. But then something incredible happens. Instead of shrinking under the weight of dread that usually takes over in these moments, you feel a powerful warmth rising from deep within, radiating through your body. Time seems to slow down, colors grow more vivid, and every sound sharpens with clarity. The universal forces that have been silently watching you now fully awaken within, their presence undeniable. When you stand up, it's as if your simple movement sends a shock wave through the stagnant energy of the office. People's eyes widen. You can hear the collective gasp as you meet the manager's gaze, not with anger or fear, but with unwavering clarity. You utter one simple word, no. And in that single syllable is a power that goes beyond language. It's as if you're speaking for every soul that wanted to say no but couldn't, for every injustice that's gone unanswered. In that instant, everything shifts. The unwritten contract that always kept bullies in power and victims in fear is shattered, and the old energy of dominance collapses. The manager's authority, which once seemed absolute, suddenly loses its grip because you refuse to play the role they assigned you. The spiritual energy of the whole workplace pivots on your stand. You become the catalyst for a shift in the universal balance. The manager's face twists in disbelief, unprepared for such a simple but absolute challenge to their power. They march over to your desk, their posture radiating forced authority, lowering their voice to deliver threats designed to unravel your confidence. Performance review. Your chance at promotion, your entire career all dangled like a sword over your head. But with every word, that inner warmth only grows stronger, flowing from your chest to your fingertips. And you realize it's not just courage, but something sacred moving through you. You find yourself calm, not because you're faking strength, but because something greater than you is standing up in your place. Your coworkers, who have seen this exact scenario play out time and time again, now watch with awe as something radically different unfolds. As the manager grows more agitated, you remain completely grounded, radiating an authority that transcends any office hierarchy. Suddenly, as the manager gestures to drive home a final threat, an extraordinary thing happens. Their expensive coffee mug, which sat untouched on their desk, glides across the polished surface and crashes to the floor. No one was near it. No one made a move. The manager steps back, momentarily thrown by the mysterious event that just unfolded, and for the first time you see a flicker of something primal, a recognition in their eyes that forces beyond their control have now entered the picture. In the days that follow, their desperation only intensifies. Having failed to break you with open confrontation, the manager unleashes every tool in their arsenal of professional sabotage. Suddenly, your files disappear from shared drives just before important presentations. Your name gets left off crucial email threads, and even your closest allies are abruptly transferred to distant departments. These strategies have always worked before, yet when it comes to you, reality itself seems to behave differently. It's as if universal forces have woven a protective barrier around you, one that operates on a level even you can't consciously control. When the manager tries to pass off your stolen work as their own, glaring errors show up on slides that you know were flawless. When secret meetings are called to undermine your reputation, the technology inexplicably fails. Screens freeze, connections drop, recordings vanish or become corrupt. Even when they try to fabricate evidence against you, key documents mysteriously go missing despite every precaution. People start to notice. Some colleagues distance themselves, uneasy about the obvious shift in the office's power dynamics. Others instinctively gravitate closer, seeking safety in the mysterious field of protection that surrounds you. Through it all, you stay balanced. You don't plot revenge or engage in office drama, but simply focus on your work with a calm that becomes your greatest weapon. This unshakable presence makes it clear that you're tapping into a power source they can't understand. The manager, unable to crack your composure, becomes obsessed with trying to break you. Every failed attempt only deepens their frustration. And with each escalation, the line between human authority and cosmic justice grows ever thinner. Quick pause, family. If you're feeling this message deep in your spirit and want to support the heart behind this work, you can always buy me a coffee. Every little bit helps keep this channel flowing with truth, light, and divine clarity. The link is in the description. And if this is touching you, drop the number 88 in the comments so I know you're with me. Now let's keep going. The true story of your life begins within, and it all comes to a head during your annual review. The manager walks in, weighed down by a file thick with fabricated failures, fully prepared to terminate your position. Their exhaustion is written on their face, dark circles, restless eyes darting about, unable to escape the unshakable peace you radiate. Your steady presence has started to unnerve them in ways they can't explain. As you sit across from each other, the air itself feels electrically charged. Even others nearby sense it. The administrative assistant who usually records these meetings suddenly finds a reason to step out, leaving just the two of you alone for this final showdown between earthly power and a much higher authority. The manager launches into their speech, voice taut with barely concealed hostility. As soon as the first false accusation is spoken, the lights above flicker, casting strange shadows around the room. They pause, looking up anxiously, then push forward with another accusation, only to have the presentation screen behind them distort into strange, unreadable patterns. The recording device shrieks with high-pitched feedback, halting the flow of their words. It's as if the entire room is rebelling against the lies being told. The temperature shifts erratically, one moment icy, the next stiflingly warm. Papers rustle of their own accord, and the manager's water glass quivers, tiny ripples spreading across its surface. With every new fabrication, these odd occurrences intensify. Then, as they arrive at the most damaging accusation, the one meant not just to take your job, but to destroy your reputation. The water glass tips over by itself, spilling across the desk and soaking their carefully organized evidence. The ink smears and runs, rendering the so-called damning pages illegible. The manager looks up and, for the first time, truly sees you, not as an employee scrambling to survive, but as someone quietly radiating a power that goes far beyond anything they can comprehend. A flicker of genuine fear crosses their face. That primal recognition that they're standing in the presence of something they can't control or even understand. In that silent moment, divine justice speaks volumes. No words are necessary. The meeting ends abruptly. The manager stands there, papers dripping, their face pale and drained, before hastily leaving the room without even bothering to wrap things up formally. You remain still, centered in the calm at the eye of the spiritual storm, neither celebrating nor seeking recognition, understanding deeply that divine justice needs no human applause. Within days, the entire atmosphere changes. Anonymous complaints about the manager begin pouring in from every corner of the company. Former employees come forward, sharing documentation of past abuses, and long-suppressed stories find unexpected witnesses. The usual bureaucratic delays are bypassed. The manager is placed on administrative leave almost overnight. Their once intimidating office now sits empty, blinds drawn, and their nameplate disappears from the door before lunch is even over. Throughout this whirlwind reversal, you say nothing against them. You don't join the gossip or the chorus of accusations. You don't need to. The scales of universal justice have balanced themselves through you, not by you. When the manager returns briefly, escorted by security to clear out their office, they pause at your desk. For a split second, your eyes meet, and in that moment, a message is exchanged without a single word. Some souls carry a protection that makes them untouchable to those harboring darkness. As the manager leaves for the final time, a weight is lifted from the entire building. Voices grow brighter, laughter returns to the break rooms, and creativity begins to flow again in spaces once frozen by fear. You witness it all with quiet clarity, knowing this was never about personal victory, but about being the fulcrum for cosmic recalibration. Through your experience, the universe reaffirmed that divine order will always prevail. Your journey is not a random anomaly. Throughout history, certain people have carried a unique energy signature that naturally repels negativity. You are one of these marked souls. This invisible shield has safeguarded you in more ways than you realize, even in situations you once thought were just ordinary conflicts. Those times when threats dissolved, when adversaries backed down for no reason, when harm intended for you missed its mark. These were all moments of divine protection activating around you. Some call this presence the sign of an old soul. Others name it divine authorization. But labels matter less than the reality itself. You walk this earth carrying cosmic credentials that grant you a level of protection beyond human logic. This sacred mark sets you apart, but also links you to others who share the same spiritual DNA. Scattered across the world, these marked souls recognize one another by energy, not appearance. And together you form an invisible network, holding the planet's spiritual balance during times of great transition. Your protection exists because cosmic forces have determined it's necessary for you to fulfill your soul's unique assignment. This divine shield is about much more than your personal comfort. It's there because, on a deeper soul level, you agreed to carry out a mission that requires you to remain untouched by certain dark energies. This contract wasn't made in your present-day awareness, but was established long before you entered this physical world. Every time you witness bullies falter or face swift consequences when they try to harm you, it's a clear sign of this soul-level agreement in action. Notice how those who seem to harm others without a second thought always encounter immediate justice when their focus shifts to you. These recurring patterns aren't coincidences. They're proof of your standing under cosmic law. However, this protection carries with it a responsibility as great as its power. Your life serves as evidence that higher laws operate beyond anything humans can manipulate. And your very presence is a demonstration that spiritual forces remain active, even in what appears to be chaotic situations. This invisible contract comes with certain terms. You're protected in direct proportion to your alignment with your soul's purpose. When you're moving within your true calling, obstacles clear out of your path in almost miraculous ways. But if you stray from your authentic path, the protection becomes less obvious. It never leaves you entirely, but its presence grows more subtle. In return, you are called to remain mindful of your spiritual essence while living out your earthly life. You're asked to see attacks for what they really are, not personal slights, but attempts to disrupt your soul's work on a higher level. Your response must come from a place of higher consciousness, not ego or defensiveness. Most importantly, you must understand your protection isn't about personal gain. It's about restoring universal balance. The forces that defend you are acting for the sake of cosmic evolution, using your experiences as catalysts for wider correction. When bullies try to target you and face instant repercussions, it's not about vengeance. It's a demonstration meant to teach everyone involved. The universal message sent through your life is clear. Spiritual law always overrides human manipulation. Simply by being yourself, you disrupt negative control systems. Whenever you step into environments dominated by manipulation, your energy naturally destabilizes those old power structures. That's why people who crave control often feel compelled to exclude you. Not because you've done anything wrong, but because your authentic presence makes it impossible for them to hold on to their old ways. This disruptor frequency within you works most powerfully when you're not even trying to use it. It activates instinctively in the face of injustice, which is why those who bully or manipulate so often find themselves facing quick consequences after coming up against you. Your very energy carries specific codes that trigger immediate rebalancing whenever certain boundaries of cosmic law are crossed in your presence. People who rely on fear, control, or domination feel threatened on a deep level by your energy. Their systems simply can't function around you. Their usual tactics fall apart, and the hierarchies they depend on begin to crack and fail, all without you having to consciously do a thing. It's as if you serve as a living antivirus inside corrupted environments, your energy scanning the space, identifying violations of higher laws, and kicking off correction protocols far beyond what the human mind can orchestrate. This happens regardless of your awareness or belief. Whether you accept your role or not, this frequency operates through you. Throughout history, the same disruptor energy has shown up in people who triggered huge changes simply by refusing to participate in established corruption, not by fighting external battles, but by holding unshakable inner sovereignty that exposed dysfunction in its raw form. Your presence naturally creates turning points for everyone around you. Those who resonate with universal truth find your energy uplifting and clear, while those clinging to control find you threatening, even if you appear totally harmless. This split happens on its own, revealing everyone's true spiritual alignment without you needing to make any effort. Now that you're becoming aware of this pattern in your own life, you're being called to evolve from an unconscious carrier of this energy to a conscious steward of it. This realization isn't about feeding your ego, but about unlocking your full spiritual potential. When you truly embody this awareness, your influence multiplies. You move from seeking outside approval to standing firm in your inner sovereignty, from trying to fight darkness to simply radiating light, from striving to prove your worth to being at peace with your true essence. To keep your energy field clear and strong, build a foundation of unshakable inner peace. Practice daily habits that support this: meditation, spending time in nature, and setting clear boundaries. These aren't just self-care for you, they're necessary upkeep for someone with your spiritual assignment. Learn to recognize the difference between ego-driven power and true soul authority. Ego wants to dominate, soul commands respect effortlessly. Ego looks for constant validation. Soul is self-validated through its connection to source. Ego gets defensive when attacked. Soul observes with compassion and lets universal forces handle the rest. Your effectiveness grows when you stop trying to convince others and instead fully embody your own truth. The divine force within you is strongest when you live in authentic alignment, not when you adapt to others' expectations. Watch your own reactions when facing resistance. Notice how manipulation attempts impact your energy, and calmly observe as the universe takes care of anyone who tries to bring you down. As you become aware of these patterns in your life, you begin to see the specific spiritual laws you're here to help enforce during this lifetime. Conscious awakening isn't just about recognizing your gifts. It's about embracing both the privilege and the responsibility of your position. You were chosen for this role because your soul carries the exact coding needed for this era of rapid spiritual evolution. The struggles you faced with bullies and manipulators go beyond your own personal growth. These experiences serve a much larger purpose, demonstrating powerful cosmic principles that ripple through the collective consciousness. Universal justice works on an accelerated timeline for you. While others might wait years, or even lifetimes, to see the scales balanced, those who attempt to harm you often face almost immediate consequences. This rapid feedback loop serves several essential purposes. First, it protects your energy field from contamination that could disrupt your core spiritual assignments. Your mission requires a certain purity of vibration, which can't be maintained if you're burdened by low-frequency entanglements. Second, it offers unmistakable teaching moments for anyone who targets you. When consequences arrive so quickly and clearly, even the most disconnected souls are given a real chance to learn and grow. Third, your journey becomes a living demonstration for everyone watching, proving that spiritual laws are real and operative, whether or not anyone believes in them. When people witness just how quickly situations around you resolve, it plants seeds of awareness about the true dynamics of energy and karma in the collective mind. The universe delivers this accelerated karma with mathematical precision, responding to the intent behind an action rather than just the surface-level deed. This is why even seemingly minor offenses against you can result in outsized consequences for the one who initiated them. Universal forces always react to the energy behind the action, not just what's visible on the surface. You serve as a living embodiment of divine justice in motion, a walking testimony that cosmic balance requires no human intervention, legal system, or external validation to maintain itself. The universe works through you directly, using your life as proof that higher natural laws are always in operation, perfectly and precisely, once the artificial constraints of human belief and ego are stripped away. Your experiences consistently reveal that those who honor universal law find great comfort in your presence. They feel seen, understood, and uplifted. But those who habitually violate these laws, those who manipulate, deceive, or exploit, sense immediately that they are treading on unstable ground in your energetic field. For them, what once worked so easily on others suddenly fails. Their old strategies backfire, and the consequences for their actions arrive swiftly and unavoidably. Your energy field acts as an accelerator for truth. Everything around you is brought into clarity and revealed at a much faster pace, leaving no room for deception to linger. Your life is not a product of random circumstance, but unfolds with precise, almost mathematical design. You are here by divine arrangement, positioned to help collective consciousness shift during a pivotal evolutionary threshold. As outdated systems built on fear, bullying, and domination rapidly collapse, your very existence becomes living evidence that a new cosmic order is emerging, one grounded in authentic connection, not in power over others. There is no need for you to stoop to the level of those who try to diminish others. Your strength doesn't come from overpowering or outwitting anyone. It comes from your unwavering connection to a force much greater than any human authority. Those who attempt to bully or undermine you encounter boundaries that are not of your own making, but are established by the universe to protect certain soul assignments from interference. Through you, the cosmos reveals an essential truth. What may have succeeded elsewhere cannot penetrate a field protected by divine appointment. Your arrival in this era at this exact moment in human history is not an accident. Everything about you, your resilience, your deep sensitivity, even the vulnerabilities you sometimes wish you could hide, has been perfectly calibrated for the needs of this evolutionary moment. Nothing about your authentic self requires changing or fixing to fulfill your highest purpose. In fact, your willingness to remain true to yourself, even in the face of pressure to conform, is exactly what activates the frequencies needed to restore balance wherever you go. This isn't something you have to force or even intend. It happens effortlessly whenever you allow yourself to be fully present and aligned with your inner truth. As society moves through increasing levels of chaos and dysfunction, your role only becomes more vital. Those who carry a divine commission like yours are the anchors and stabilizers for others as the world transitions from outdated paradigms to something new and greater. Your grounded, centered presence offers a point of reference and safety for those who feel lost in the turbulence of change. Remember, you weren't chosen for this role because you are flawless, but because your soul resonates with exactly what is required right now. Your scars and struggles don't disqualify you, they are your credentials. They're the proof that you are built for this work. Hold this awareness with humble confidence as you move through a world in desperate need of the energies you naturally embody. Your very presence, your calm, and your authenticity are more than enough. Simply by being who you truly are, you fulfill your sacred purpose in this world. That's all for today, dear. Father, I pray for the growth of my faith. Help me trust you even when physical evidence is lacking. Let me believe in your perpetual presence, knowing you will never harm me. I understand that your thoughts for me are thoughts of prosperity and not harm, to give me a good future. Thank you, gracious and eternal Father, for always listening to my voice. I offer up this prayer to you in the name of Jesus. Amen. Thank you, Jesus, for your love and provision. I am grateful for your presence in my life and the abundance you bring. If this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe to the channel, and share it with those who need to hear this message. Leave a comment below about your journey and how you are preparing for your own triumphant return. If you'd like to support our work, please consider contributing through Buy Me a Coffee. This helps us continually improve our content to offer you the best. The link to Buy Me a Coffee is in the description. No gift is too small, whether it's a penny, a prayer, or a share. Your generosity helps spread God's word and brings hope to others. Don't stop here. Watch our next video for powerful revelations about the signs that reveal you are the chosen one. We've enjoyed following this spiritual journey with you. Thank you for staying with us until the end. Keep shining brightly and embrace your destiny with courage. See you next time. Blessings to all the beautiful souls from the